Hello everyone and welcome to the Grow Your Local Business with Twitter webinar. Hopefully you should be able to all hear me. I'm just testing the sound at the moment and we're going to get started any second. I know a couple of you who arrived early can hear me, just fingers crossed everyone else can too. Great. Okay, well we're going to get started now. And what we're going to be talking about today is how you can use Twitter to grow your business locally. And we're going to be looking at a company called Forward Cupcakes, which is based in Chicago in the USA. So we'll just start off and I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Catherine Salt and I have founded a company called Marketing My, and I specialize in social media. I do a lot of providing free resources for small businesses, as well as community management and consultancy for larger organizations. If you want to find out a little bit more about me, you can always visit my website at marketingmy.co.uk. Follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/marketingmy. And finally, there's my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/marketingmy. Now on that, you'll find loads of free resources, ebooks, links to the webinars, blog posts, and so forth. So it's always nice to have some new people come and visit us there. Okay, now the world is getting smaller, and it seems that we've got the ability to communicate globally, and you can attract people from all over the world, and they can find out about your business through using Facebook, Twitter, websites, etc. Now, if you've got an international business, it seems like social media is an ideal use of time and resources. However, what about if you've got a local business and your customer base is located in a radius of, say, a few hundred miles? Also, what if you can't sell online or you choose not to? Or, for example, you provide a service that you can only give close to home? I mean, is there any point then actually spending the time in social media? But I think if you look at it, that social media is more about building relationships than driving traffic to your website. It's much easier to see the potential. So like I said, today we're going to be looking at an online business, Forward Cupcakes. Now they are purely online. They don't even have a storefront. And what they do is they bake and deliver cupcakes ordered through their website. Now, I first heard about them when I saw the founder, Mari Luangras, speak at Blog World in New York a couple of months ago. And she blew me away with the phenomenal success they've had by only ever using social media to market their business. They've identified that it's about 94% of their sales come directly from social media activity. Now, it's in such a short amount of time that makes this so outstanding. Forward Cupcakes started in 2009 because Mari identified that if you wanted cupcakes in Chicago, you had no option but to schlep right into the center of the city and go and pick them up. For busy mums, this was a complete nightmare. You know, it takes an hour and a half out of their day to just pick the cupcakes up. So she decided there was a lot of potential for this. So she set about having a website developed. Now, unfortunately, the first attempt at the website was a bit of a disaster. It didn't work, frankly, and it was full of errors and pretty much completely useless. So what she had to do was sit there for 6 weeks and wait for a new website to be developed. Now, in that 6 weeks, she had chefs waiting to cook, she had the flour, she had everything to go. So she was encouraged by a friend to have a look at Twitter. Now, Twitter was a really different place in 2009 to what it is today. You know, back then people were just talking about what they had for breakfast, the fact they'd just taken the dog for a walk, visiting the kids' sports day. And I think what she found was the first couple of goes, it didn't really work out. But left with no option, she really went for it. Now, she got onto Twitter, and because she had no way of customers to order anything, there was absolutely no pressure on her to sell. So that meant she put all her focus on building connections and relationships. And her Twitter base grew from approximately 100 followers to over 2,000 in 1 month. Now, if any of you have got a Twitter account, you know how hard it is to purely do this by having conversations. You know, if you're not using sort of mass follow techniques or other sneaky little Twitter tricks, this is a pretty impressive feat. So it's at this stage in the presentation, I'm sat right on the edge of my seat waiting to hear this cunning tactic that Mari and her team have used to build up this base. But like a lot of ideas that succeed, it was pretty simple. And what I sort of boiled it down to for what she said is there's pretty much 5 steps to building that community. First, what she did was identify the audience. She had a local base, so she used the advanced Twitter search to identify women aged between 18 and 40 that lived in the Chicago area. You know, this didn't take complicated research, didn't take hours and hours of filtering through papers, just some simple demographic choices that she made. The next thing they did was they chose a topic to engage about. The best way to be successful on Twitter is not to talk about yourself, actually talking about other people and what they're interested in. Now they chose to talk about shoes. You know, perfect for their key demographic. And so Mari basically sat there, then listened in to people's conversations. When they heard things about shoes or people saying, oh, I need some shoes for an event, or I've just bought these beautiful shoes, she would pipe up with, wow, let me see a photo of your shoes, or with helpful advice on, you know, where she'd seen some nice shoes for parties, for example. So they listened and then they joined in the conversation. Now, because Mari had a Twitter name that was Ford Cupcakes and a little logo as her profile picture, people eventually asked about that. So then she only talked about the business when people asked about it. There was no heavy sale, and it opened up the possibility that she could say to people, I tell you what, why don't you try some of our cupcakes? Because they'd initiated the conversation. And I'll be honest, everybody loves cupcakes. It's an easy product to sell in comparison to a lot of businesses. So this is actually the results. Now this is staggering. If you look at the blue line at the bottom, this is their projected target. And these are bundles, I think, of about 8 dozen cupcakes. So they expect to sell, you know, over that year and a couple of months, up to about, say, 150 bundles of cupcakes. Before they even started, they were ahead of their targets. And as you can see, December was an enormous peak. Obviously, there's a huge amount of seasonality to that, but January isn't exactly a huge drop-off. I mean, this does seem like a lot of success just for some nice ladies having a chat about shoes. But I think what we can see is Ford Cupcakes, they don't only engage with customers. That's only one part of their tactics and strategy. They actually provide excellent customer service and communication. So, for example, when an order is placed on their website, the customer's then telephoned to confirm that the order's gone through. And then also to check if there's any other questions. Once the order is ready for delivery, the customer's telephoned again to advise when they're going to be dropped off. And then finally, there's a call to ask out how the cupcakes were when they actually arrive. Now, this gives 3 opportunities to build relationships with customers and make sure that customer satisfaction is at around 100%. And it also gives the opportunity to find out how the customer found out about them. So what we're going to do now, we're going to have a little look at the Ford Cupcakes Twitter page. So hopefully, there we go. That's come through. Excellent. It's going rather well. Now, as you can see, the page is nicely branded. On the left-hand side, you've got the logo, and underneath where customers can order. The photo there is of the ladies at their first birthday party, and it really shows that, you know, it's a fun, girly culture to that business. So it also, what I like about this as well, it says who are the people who are tweeting. So people are getting an engagement from real people, and they're engaging with those people's personalities. Now, if we're looking down the feed here, you'll see how many of these tweets start with @ signs. That means they're having conversations. That means people are asking them questions and engaging. The more @ signs you see in a company's feed, the more engaged they are with their customer base. And it's interesting to see, if we just scooch back up, they've been there 2 years and they have sent over 25,000 tweets. And I have to say, I think looking at what we've got there, it might actually be a slow sort of couple of days because of the 4th of July weekend. So in a, looking at the followers as well, they have over 7,000 followers, which for a small company is pretty good going, but the listing is very interesting. 6,032 listing. There are people who have listed them from food companies, personal companies, people who just like chatting about shoes. And they've really managed to achieve a lot of success in a short period of time. However, I think, you know, looking at that, you can see that's really time consuming. Sending over 25,000 tweets in 2 years is going to take a chunk of time. I mean, but what they've done is they've decided that instead of investing in advertising or other marketing tactics that build engagement, building engagement with their own community is going to benefit their business more in the long run. I think it's key to realize that although they've achieved such a rapid success, social media is really a long-term strategy. And what they've done is they've laid some really strong foundations to ensure the longevity of their business. And it's interesting now, they've opened up another branch, and they do get requests from all around the world, because not only are they well known in Chicago, they've achieved, and we're going to have a look at their website in a minute, amazing success, and been featured in the Entrepreneur magazine, Wall Street Journal. I saw them at a blogging conference. And they really have a basis to grow their business at such a huge rate. Okay, so what we're looking at now, this is the Ford Cupcakes website. Like I said, everybody loves cupcakes. And as you can see, it's a really simple site. On the left-hand side, we've got the clear integration with the social networks. And moving across the top, you've got home, which is this page, orders, obviously that's your key call to action, the different flavors of the cupcakes, about us, press, and comments. What they've been very good at doing is actually showcasing their customers and making them feel special. I mean, looking at the comments, they want to know what you think. And to be honest, if you let them know what you think, you are more than likely to end up on one of their pages. And if you see on their About page, it's really nice. We believe our customers are our friends, and that's why they spend so much time working on engaging with them. Now, as you can see here, they've got their press company. Now, this is a cupcake company in Chicago. Now, I know Chicago is a big city, but if you look at the amount of press that this business has achieved in 2 years, and a lot of this is to do with their work on social media, because it's given them an edge, it's given them a differentiating factor. Also here we have, sorry, back to the press, people. This whole area in the press area is all about social proof. Peer recommendations, press releases. You can also see they have a wealth of really high-profile clients. All of these things help to build the trust that when you buy your cupcakes, they are going to be good quality, delivered on time, and exactly what you ordered. I think it's really important to remember that with social media, it can't perform miracles. If you don't have a good product and you don't have customer service, social media is really not going to help you that much. If anything, it might just kill you quicker, because word of mouth moves so fast. So we're going to have a cheeky little look now at their Facebook page. Hang on a moment. So as you can see, they've got 2,000, and Twitter really is their platform. The great thing about Facebook that you don't have with Twitter is obviously it's a lot more visual. And you can they put up pictures of their parties and their events, for example. Now, so here we go. As you can see here, it's also a great way of showing what they can do and how they can scale up past the basket of 15 muffins that they do. But what they have done and what they've really done is taken Twitter as their platform. And I think this really proves that you don't have to do everything. If you do what they've done is you take one platform like Twitter and do it really well, it will work for you. But you need to invest the time and not use it as just a broadcasting sales place. So, like I said before, it looks like their success is coming from a combination of excellent products. They source their recipes from the West Coast, from a kitchen over there, these good quality ingredients. Again, we were talking before about the customer service. Excellent customer service. They also do, if you're getting married, they do free tastings. Further on, it's for engagement through social media. Now, not only do they talk to people on Twitter, they actually run events. You can come to their birthday party. They really do engender and foster community. And because they have such a strong community, these people advocate their products. They share, they tell, and they encourage other people to buy. And a recommendation from someone you know is worth 10 times more than seeing an advert or being sold to by anyone else. So that is the end of today's little webinar. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me just